So when you're doing this, are you worried at all about repetitive stress injuries or the fact that your body's not conditioned for this? And you're basically taking your body where you had abused it,
right?
And now you're forcing it to live like an elite athlete,
right? I didn't care. I didn't know any better. I didn't think about it.
Wow.
I didn't know that working out that hard would fuck you up.
Did it fuck you up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one reason why I went through 3 hell weeks. So I don't talk about it a lot, but the stress of my life getting to 24 caused me to have some serious psoas issues. I didn't know anything about this shit. The psoas muscle is what we use. It's your hip flexor muscle. And basically under stress, it starts to tighten up. And I stuttered from the time I was in 3rd grade, the time I was in 7th grade, white blotches on my skin. I was a nutcase. And so the insides of me are also getting fucked up. So in this process, my psoas muscle got real tight to my T12. I can show you the bump on the back of my head after this show's over, but I started growing this fucking like large tumor looking bump on the back of my head from my body compressing. So I'm 6'1", but my muscles were like 5'9", because I just started the muscle tightness from my psoas going to my T12. I was just getting tighter, my quads, everything getting tired from just stress in my life. So the more I stressed my body with the workouts, my lower body became out of balance. So I had a bunch of stress fractures, a bunch of injuries going through buds. And how I got through buds was they gave me my 3rd time, was my last time going through Hell Week. I basically put a black sock on at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I would get duct taped. I had numerous stress fractures on both of my legs because my body was literally like coming in on itself. And my legs were like, I was pronating it really bad and putting stress on my shins. And so I would put duct tape. I would duct tape my feet, and I would show you the top of them where I have pressure ulcers that were the size of quarters from, how the ankle joint, so the foot goes to the shin, and how you move this, where the tape was so tight, it just created a nice ulcer right there. And I just kept going through it.
So you just use that tape to just support your ankles?
Right. So I basically cast myself, and for the first 30, 45 minutes, the pain was excruciating, but then it would go numb. And whoa. I would go numb, and then that's how I got through.
Wow. Did that do any long-term damage?
Yeah, I've been out for 5 years. So I retired I did 21 years in the military. I did time in the Air Force, and I did about 16 years in the Navy.
How old are you?
43.
So you look like you're 30.
That's good. That's good.
You look very young for your age.
Whenever I'm stressed, I get after it. I fix what's ever bothering me. So I basically, over the last 5 years, everything I've done in my life, I did it being very unhealthy. I'd never talked about it. I just kept going. And it cost me pretty much, I was choking my insides out. Adrenal issues, tons of adrenal issues, thyroid issues, anything with the endocrine system pretty much shut down on me. My organs were pretty much shutting down. And I went from a guy who could run 205 miles to a guy who couldn't get out of bed. And the doctors were trying to search what was wrong. That's why I figured out the psoas muscle. No one figured it out. And I hit it by accident. So I've missed 2 days of stretching out in 5 years. And so what happened was all the shit I did to myself, the stress I was under, physical, mental, all kind of shit, it just choked me out from the inside. And doctors put me on all kind of medication. And the medication started doing the exact opposite of
what kind of shit?
I was on DHEA. I was on some different things for my estrogen, different things for my, I was on anything to do with with your endocrine system. Thyroid medicine, good God, I was on cortisol, all kind of shit to get my stuff. I had like this lump in my throat from like the heart was always, I couldn't run down the street. My body was just jacked up. Couldn't sleep. My whole body was just down, shutting down. I could give you a lot more than that, but just to give you an example, I was fucking dying. And so I couldn't do anything. I went from a guy who was this guy to a guy who can't do shit. And the doctor's like, I don't know what's wrong with you, man. You know, your labs are this. Is it PTSD? Is it what's going on? I knew it wasn't any of that shit. So I sat in the bed one day and I realized, man, my life is over. This is it. But it gave me time to reflect on everything I had accomplished. 'Cause I'd never taken time to reflect on the kid I was to the man I am now. So honestly, the time I wasn't working out, it was the best time of my life because I got a chance to really reflect back and be proud of who I became 'Cause I never took time to do that. It was like one after another. Get the fuck after it. Get after it. Get after it. You ain't good enough, motherfucker. Get after it. Get after it. And I got halted. So anyway, this process went on for a while. More medication. This isn't working. That's not working. No doctor can figure it out. I'm like, fuck it. I saw this doc about 8 years before this happened. And he was like, hey, man, you're so fucking tight. I've never seen anybody in my life as tight as you. You need 50,000 hours of stretching. He threw out some crazy number. I was like, whatever. Stretching, stretching's bad for you. So
You thought stretching was bad
yeah,
for you?
stretching's bad for you, man.
Why did you think that?
I read some article, man, fuck stretching, man. 'Cause I worked out so hard, I didn't have time to stretch, man. I was running 150 miles a week. I was biking to work, man. I was getting after it, man. I was working a full-time job. And stretching, I ain't doing that. So my body was literally getting tighter and tighter, not just from what I was doing. Everybody thinks, oh, because you ran this. No, it wasn't that, man. And so I said, no, I'm going to try and stretch out. So I don't do anything for like 10 minutes or, I don't do no 6-minute abs bullshit. So I started stretching out 1 hour, hour and a half. Long story short, man, I shave my head almost every morning. And that bump that was on the back of my fucking head, I started realizing it was shrinking for some fucking reason. I don't know why, because I shaved my head back and I was like, it's getting smaller. Smaller that bump got, healthier I got. Smaller that bump got, I was like, oh, hold up, motherfucker, what's going on? That psoas muscle started getting more and more stretched out, more and more relaxed. And over a period of 5 years, I'm in the best shape of my damn life right now from stretching out.
Wow.
That's all it was. I went from I can't even count the medications I was on. Now I'm on a very low dose thyroid pill.